is only a handful of years ago. I remember when he said, we're going to be $100 million company at the Pavement Group. And everyone on the team was like, it was a small team at the time. Everyone on the team was like, that's crazy. That's a big number. And it's like, well,
we're not far.
We're not far. Like, we're not far. We have the people to do it now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tre'd Talk. My name is Tre'd Tipton, and today I got a special guest for you. But before I say that, I got to start with the slogan. If you didn't know, now you know. And if you're new, tell somebody else, because we're here on Tre'd Talk. And today I'm with my man, Eli, Fly Guy. Eli, what's going on, man?
Dude, Fly Guy, Eli. You know, you called me that, like, when you first met me.
Bro, I coined it. But here's the thing, bro. Eli, I always liked your energy, man. Not only that I like your energy, I like on how you come about things, bro. Like, yes, you're one of the younger guys in the group. Cool. But at the same time, you're a dog, bro. You're a lion in a lion's den. And I got a lot of respect for you, man. But I want to talk about not so much the work side today. I want to talk about real life Eli, man. So where did we start at, Eli? Like, where's your beginnings at? Where did you start at? Where's your life start?
Dude, Wisconsin. The plains of Wisconsin, playing hockey, going to church, having a great family. That's where I started, bro. But like, legit hockey was like my life.
Bro.
Yeah.
So explain that a little bit. How long we played hockey till? What happened?
So I played hockey 4 years old till I graduated high school. So
okay.
Total, I don't know, 13 years or something like that, whatever it was.
Oh, man.
13, 14 years. So like I grew up on the ice. Like I played all the time. And the way that I learned how to skate, so I actually, funny, I just told Brian this the other day. The way I learned how to skate, so my dad was out with me. You get these little triangles when you first skate.
That's what I need right now.
I'll teach you, bro. I'll teach you. So I was, 4 years old, Eli, on skates with this little triangle, like metal triangle. And my dad, I remember this, like my dad took it away from me and like skated, I don't know, like 10 feet. And he said, skate to me. And they're like, no. He's like, skate to me. Like, and you get the triangle back, but skate to me. And I did it. And that's how I know.
And you never had to use a triangle again, man. Talk about self-love, man.
Dude, that's it. It was, tough love, bro. And he's like, dude, skate to me. And like, dude, the rest is history. Anyway.
So how does that translate into your life now, man? Because I know you had to take a lot of risks to get here, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think too many people know on how Eli got involved inside of TPG, but you're one of the first, right? Like, you're low-key a ground runner. You know what I mean? So let's talk about that a little bit, bro, because from what my understanding was in our previous conversations, you took a risk, right? So talk a little bit about that risk that you took to be able to come here and to be a part of this.
Sure. Yeah. So started year one with Pavement Group. There were four of us. I think I was either the fourth or fifth, but the first person to work here who wasn't a partner of the company. And I trusted Brian. I trusted Mike, and I trusted the other folks that were on the team. And I literally, like, I was living at my parents' house. I was going to college, going for sales and marketing, and I dropped out of that and joined the team. And I was, I don't know, 20. I think I was 20 years old.
That's crazy.
And for me, I was like, dude, if this doesn't work, like, I don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, I know Brian, but I don't know Brian.
Right.
I didn't know Brian very well. And I trusted him. Yeah, I worked with him a little bit. I was like, all right, if this thing doesn't work, like, I guess I'll be in my 20s and I guess I'll just figure it out.
Right.
It is what it is. So lo and behold,
it's working.
Things started working, right? And after like that first year, I moved out to Pittsburgh. And again, we're still a very young company. We were doing not a whole lot of revenue at the time. And Brian convinced me to come out here. Angel was right by my side, and she was like, yeah, let's go to Pittsburgh.
Shout out to sis Angel. That's the wife.
Legit. She was like, without her, I probably wouldn't be.
Talk about that a little bit, bro, because relationships are huge for me. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in a single parent household, and getting to see a lot of you guys be married and to have successful relationships, man, it means a lot to me, bro. So talk about that a little bit, about her support and what it meant to you during that time.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's like one of my favorite things about my wife is the fact that she supports me throughout everything. And she sets me straight too.
Right.
If there's something that like I'm not doing that I should be doing, or if there's something that I should be doing that I'm not doing,
right,
she's quick to tell me,
right,
but in a very loving way. And so there's times where I would come home and I'm like, man, rough day at work, whatever, like something didn't go right, it went sideways, and like, but here's my goals, and she knows my goals for the year, and she's like, yeah, you better get to work, like, you better sit down and work a little more.
So she's tough.
She's like, listen, if you want to hit that, like, you better.
That's a teammate.
And like there were times where I would show up, I'd get home and, spend time with her, make dinner, spend time with the dogs, whatever. And then I'd hop on the computer again. A lot of spouses out there are like, hey, like, why don't you spend more time with me? Angel's like, no, like, do your thing. Like, you got goals, man. No, her support's huge, man. I would not be here at all without it.
And you're a bulldog, bro. Like, when I say a bulldog, there's not many guys like you. Like, not just, doesn't matter about your age. Like, just human beings in general, there's not many guys who are willing to do what it takes to get to where they're going, right? And you've done it tenfold. And I think you got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, right? Because when you first came out here, I knew that you probably had family members or somebody around you being like, yo, you're tripping. You know what I mean? To drop out of school. So, like, talk about that a little bit, that adversity that you had to deal with just coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people were very supportive.
Right.
That said, it was in the middle of COVID. I signed my lease to come out here, and my parents were like, they were a little hesitant at first, even prior to COVID. They're like, I don't know, like, you're moving to a new place, and like any good parent would be, right? Like, watching out for their kid. But for me, like, I signed my lease in February of 2020, and in March is when the NBA and all that shit
start closing down.
Everything closed down, and then I moved in April, and so signed my lease. So I already had to pay whatever the total amount was for like that year lease. Like I was locked in, so I'm like, well, like I'm going.
Oh yeah, you took a risk.
But as far as people like talking, not supporting me, like to be honest, I didn't directly have that from like family members. Like they were all pretty like very supportive. My parents are great, wonderful. My wife, absolutely amazing. And a lot of my friends, I guess, like not that they said anything directly to me, but I do remember is where I moved out there. I was grinding. This is probably the first year at the Pavement Group.
Okay.
I got I don't know, I met up with some friends for like Thanksgiving or something. And I remember they said to me, these are high school, maybe acquaintance.
Right. Yeah, I mean.
And they said to me, they're like Eli, we don't see you anymore. I said, yeah, I'm working. Like I got a lot of stuff going on. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have to call your secretary to get a hold of you and schedule time with you. Like making a joke, but like not really making.
They were sick about it.
They were well, whatever. Like I just kind of shrugged it off, and I'm like, yeah. Like my thought was, yeah, eventually you have to call the secretary. Oh,
that's the goal, man.
But I don't hold anything against them now. Like I still know those people to this day,
right.
And I truly hope that me taking a leap of faith and putting in the work and doing what I do here, I hope that it inspires.
And it probably does, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Being around you is inspirational to me, and I'll be honest in saying that. But also with that said, man, you got to think about like there's not a lot of guys that are taking advantage of these moments, especially at your age and our age, right? Because a lot of our friends are partying, a lot of our friends are traveling, doing these different things. And that's not saying that you're not traveling and having a good time either. You're just very detailed in how you're going about it.
Well,
you focus. So like, how did hockey translate over to this right here? Because you went to school for sales, but I feel like this was better for you in terms of sales than going to school for it. So like, talk about that translation between hockey and now your job.
Mm-hmm. So playing hockey, growing up in Wisconsin, to be completely honest, I didn't have the skill like the other kids on my team. I seriously, I didn't. Like it didn't come 100% natural to me.
Okay.
Which, just a quick side note, it's really weird playing hockey. Like I play in a league here now.
Killing it.
It's way different. Like it's crazy the difference between hockey in Minnesota, Wisconsin versus here.
Now you gotta explain it to me because now I feel like you about to talk your shit.
It's not like anyone's bad over here. It's just like another level over there. So I feel like I can compete here.
Right.
Like pretty well. Whereas over there, I was like, dude, I was probably one of the most unskilled kids on the team. That said, growing up, to be honest, I was always one of the hardest working in the room. Without a doubt. I always was the hardest working. And that was because I needed to work
catch up, right,
to compete with the kids that just naturally had skill.
Right.
So that has translated into like, that's just built into my system now. Like dude, you won't catch me slacking off.
Bro, I see you on a money walk every day. Every day. For those of you who don't know what the money walk is, Eli gets his steps in as he goes and gets that green check. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, we got a 12,000 square foot office here, and I'm gonna have to replace these shoes that Jesse made for me. So there's gonna be holes in them, and I talk and walk on the phone. Every time that I'm on the phone with people, And they bring up something and I need to go back to my computer. I'm like, oh shoot, let me walk back to my office here. My computer's like all the way across. So
my man Jesse does his laps. Jesse be following with you sometimes. I see Jesse go left and right, right and left. You'll see Jesse.
Big dog, you follow me sometimes.
Man, Jesse be taking off.
Money walk.
Hey, money walks are the best walks, man. But also with that said, Eli, man, I watch you. You've come into your own here, bro. Like you kind of do your own thing now. You're leading a group of men, right?
And women.
And women. I was about to say, because I didn't want to get beat up now. You know what I mean?
2024, Trey.
Bro, I'm trying to duck and dodge, man. I'm trying to duck and dodge. But with that said, bro, like you're leading a group of people and you've been doing a really good job in that. So like now you're coming into this leadership role. What's been the hardest challenge for you?
Probably the transition between what I was doing previously to now.
Explain.
So I have great mentors and Brian, Mike, Todd. I mean, there's a lot of people around me that have been able to mentor me and help me along with this transition. But, last year and even a little bit of this year, it's going to be, I've been more of a player coach, so to speak.
Right.
So I'm in the trenches with the team and I probably always will be to some extent. But I'm still involved in some projects and some accounts and still prospecting, still selling, also while leading the sales team. So just having that balance between the two has probably been, not that it's like extremely difficult. It's just one of those things that I got to always make sure that I'm not putting too much time and focus on my stuff immediately.
Right.
So that the team, I can also put focus and time on the team. So, this year that was one of the things I was like, if there's one thing, like let's just say I was restricted to one thing throughout the year that I could do to move the needle. I was like, well, what would that one thing be? Probably focus on the team and empower them as much as possible to hit their potential, hit their goals. So yeah, that's probably
the toughest part right now.
Yeah, just like the transition between the two. And again, I have really good mentors. I have really good people around me that have been able to help me with that, but it's just a lot, right? And I'm used to it though.
You've been killing it, bro. I'm being so serious when I say that. Like, you've really been killing it. But that means that you have really good organizational skills. So I want to know a little bit about those skills, man. Like, where did you find these and who helped you with these organizational skills? Because I see your board. I see on how you move. I want to know, like, how do you go about this? Because you might be teaching me something right now.
Definitely my wife. No, seriously, I've gone into, in my role, I've gone into sales. I've gone into situations where I was unorganized. And dude, the amount of stress that creates, like in a negative way. Like, stress isn't always a bad thing, but stress can be anxiety can be a bad thing, right? If you wait on something, you procrastinate, you don't do it, you come in unorganized.
Yeah.
But if you continuously be proactive in it, it's like I have way less anxiety if I'm consistently proactive and organized in the things that I do. Like, I don't have a whole lot of anxiety in general, but I've had stress, like a large amount of stress if I push things off and wait, not proactive on it. I'm not organized. So honestly, it's just been learning.
Let's just get it done.
Yeah. It's just been learning through like reps,
And that's the thing, bro. One of my favorite quotes is 1,000 shots. I'm trying to retire my pop. And the reason why, you like that? You like that. The reason why I say that, man, is because I feel like it's repetition, right? You need to get consistent reps at doing the right thing consistently. Say that again. Get consistent reps at doing the right thing consistently.
You want to know what one of my my mentor before Brian, so this was, his name is Andy Lindis. One of the things he always used to say, he was my coach for, not all 15 or 14 years I played hockey, but like a lot of them. He said, all right, you guys are practicing right now. Great. You're missing the puck, you're missing shots, you're missing passes. He's like, perfect practice. He's like, you have to practice perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
That's a fact.
And I was like, dude, perfect practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes. Now, it takes practice to get perfect.
Come on.
And that's reps.
Come on.
And that's rep.
Come on. But what you just said is very, very, as you usually are, detailed. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not somebody who is detailed and not somebody who's going to take advantage of the time that you have, right, you usually end up falling short. You know what I mean? So like you said, bro, you can be practicing, but you could be practicing the wrong thing. Then you get very good at just doing the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not unique because you're doing the wrong thing, right, and getting the wrong result, you're unique. If you're doing something different and you get the right result, then you can call yourself unique. But if you're not extremely detailed in your work, bro, you usually fall short. Now, one thing I've noticed about you, you're extremely detailed. So I feel like there's this bigger why that sits with you. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm kind of curious. And I think the audience will be curious. Like, what's your why? And what's your biggest why? Because you do sit with a chip on your shoulder. Nobody your age and our age moves as fast as you have without having that little bit of,
I would say, I'm trying to get to big places really fast.
Talk to me.
I'm trying to, financially, personally,
right,
in my family here as a whole, but that all plays a part to what I do day to day. I sometimes look at, I'm 25 right now, and I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, I listen to Cardone, and I let all those guys, and they all have a little bit, a little nugget that I take away from, but something that, I always think about, I'm like, dude, I'll be here another, 60, 70 years, hopefully another 80 years.
Right.
That'd be great. Be over 100.
Shoot, I'm right with you.
But I'm like, dude, I know that I'm in my absolute prime right now.
Right.
I can work, I hustle. And so why wouldn't I use that time as much as possible and as efficiently as possible to get as quickly as I can go to those big goals that I want to get to. And I also look at, the time value of money and time value of everything that I do. And I'm like, compounding interest is real.
Oh,
25, not to get on money talks and stuff, but investing while you're young, absolutely you should be doing as much as possible. And also invest in yourself a whole lot more.
Talk to me. How are you investing into Eli? I'm curious.
Books, mentors,
okay.
Reps.
Hey, taking those shots.
Reps. But it's, getting yourself into uncomfortable situations where you can learn, where you can grow, be willing to take the risk
right
as much as possible and be open to it. I would have never met Brian if I wasn't open to taking my career. When I met him, it was nothing, right? I was young, I was 18, but
took a shot, bro.
But if I wasn't open to going out and doing the work, I would have never met Brian. And so being open to do the work, being open to those things. A lot of people pray for opportunity, but they don't realize that opportunity is masked in work.
Cool. So I'm a big believer, and I want to share this with you, Eli. I want to share this with the people. I'm a big believer of the mom and dad in home. The reason being is I think truly that it takes a village to raise a child, right? But it also takes a village to raise a man and a woman. So I made this concept. It's called the mom and dad concept, right? And the dad concept essentially is discipline, accountability, and dream big. You do all three of those very well, right? But then you have the mom concept, and the mom concept is motivate, be open to knowledge, right? And be maternal to yourself. What I mean by maternal to yourself is taking care of yourself and having grace for yourself. A lot of people don't think a lot about how they should take care of themselves. They only work themselves to death. What I want to talk to you about is about each single part of these, right? So let's talk about the first one, your discipline. Without question, I've been saying this since we started this show. Your discipline is incredible. I got to give you credit where credit's due. You have a very great amount of discipline. Moving on to the next one, you're accountable, but you hold other people accountable. You know what I'm saying? Eli ain't no punk. If I know anything about Eli ain't no punk, bro. I can see it when you play hockey. I see it when you do your thing. But the last one, I'm very curious in terms of how are you dreaming? What are your biggest dreams? What are the things that you are actually I can't wait for this, and I can't wait to do this? I'm curious.
I can't wait to retire my parents.
1,000 shots. He's retiring this.
I legit I don't know when that'll be, but I've run the numbers. I'm like, all right, it's actually not that far away. I mean, to a lot of people it might seem crazy, but it's all right, I'm gonna retire my parents. I know that they would love that. They would love. It would just be amazing. So that's one thing.
Okay.
I cannot wait to retire my parents. I also can't wait to my future kids. I don't have kids yet, but my future kids, I can't wait to be able to say, you do whatever you want to do. You want to go to school? Whatever school you want to go to. Paid. You got it. You want to start a business? I'm going to help you. I'm going to keep you accountable. You're going to be the one that's going to put in the work. But I can't wait for those.
That's a great dad.
Yeah.
I love that, bro. I'm in the same realm, bro. I cannot wait to be a father, man. I think about it every day. Unfortunately, I'm no longer in a relationship, but I think about that, bro. I think about it a lot. How would I be as a father, right? What do I look like? And when we get into the mom concept, right, that's the biggest thing is like, who's the woman that's going to be taking care of these kids? You know what I'm saying? Because she plays such a pivotal role ultimately, right? The woman decides everything in my eyes just because she goes through the most, she handles the most, but she also holds up the back of the man who's holding up the world. How I see it. You know what I'm saying? So we get into the mom concept, and the mom always seems to motivate. You know what I mean? Like when things are going left, mom's the one that we tend to lean towards as a son, right? I don't know about a daughter, but as a son. It's like the rock, right? It's the core. But also, mom's typically open to any dream that you have, right? So she's open to new knowledge, but you also got to look at yourself and strive to be open to new knowledge. But the last one, I want to know this one from you, Eli. How are you personally taking care of yourself? Like, what's the number one way that you have found that you're like, I need to do this in order for me to find peace right now?
I stay active physically. Like that's honestly the thing for me. I'm like, regardless if it's golfing, going to the gym, like I do all these things like in at various points throughout the year.
Right.
But I'll go to the gym, I'll golf. I will go play hockey.
Right.
If I'm staying like physically fit, like I'm taking care of myself. And it's just one of those things that like Angel and I, it's a non-negotiable. Like we are always gonna make sure that we are healthy physically.
Right.
Because I believe that everything starts with your physiology of your physical body.
I agree.
If you're not doing that, like, dude, things will go sideways. I guarantee you. If you're letting your body go, it might not be immediate, but your relationship could go sideways. Things at work could go sideways pretty quickly. And it's like literally, it starts with self-discipline with yourself. And I try to look at self-discipline too, of like being active and whatnot. Not like, all right, I'm gonna go run 100 miles and like,
right,
do something I absolutely hate, which a dream of mine is to eventually run 100 miles. But like, dude, on the day to day, I'm like, why don't I go do something that I actually enjoy? Why don't I enjoy? I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy golfing and I enjoy playing hockey.
Right.
Like, why don't I go do those things that are going to benefit me physically when I'm out playing hockey? Like, that's the only thing I think about. Like, I'm like laser focused in hockey, even if it's just a little pickup game.
Right.
Blocks everything out. And so, doing those things helps keep me sane a little bit to some extent, right?
I agree.
Like, keeps me healthy and it keeps me accountable to myself. But yeah, staying active, staying physically active.
So I love that, bro. You kind of pushed me into another segment. You ever hear the term mind, body, soul?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of go the opposite direction. I go soul, mind, body. And this is why. Soul being, if your soul ain't right, your mind's gonna go out of touch. Let's be honest, right? And if your mind's out of touch, typically you're not doing the right things by your body, right? So what you're saying here is that there's a connection here, right, between your body, right, and your mind, and also to your soul. From my point of view, from what you've been doing, right, you've really taken care of your soul because you've always been going to church and you've always been a big believer of God first and us second, right? But then on top of that, right, your mind, you've been very sharp. You know what I mean? You're disciplined. You're pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? Now the last piece, right, the body. Now you're in your body stage. I've seen you gain some weight, bro. You're gaining some muscle weight. You ain't gaining no fat weight. You're gaining some muscle weight. I was looking, I said, this ain't the same skinny Eli no more. He like,
look at his ass.
That boy over there will put you down if you get too close. So with that, you also told me a little bit that you box a little bit, correct?
Yep, a little bit.
Talk to me about that, man. Where's this fighter at? Because, man, I'll be seeing you, like, he's such a good kid. You know what I mean? You one of those guys, you're like, just a good guy.
It stems back to hockey.
He's aggressive. Don't sleep on Eli. He's a defender now.
You should ask my wife. She used to come to my games. Of course, we met in high school, and she used to come to my games, and she would be like, "There's Eli fighting again."
You was fighting that often.
That wasn't like fight, like wasn't like full on fist.
But you was eyes and problems.
I was the instigator. I would, refs would turn their back and I'd shove a kid, and if somebody was picking on my goalie, I'd come in there and.
That's a real defender right there. You be giving people fits, bro. I feel like you were one of those guys that you're throwing a little quick check in there, like back up.
But then, dude, after the game, it's like, hey, bro, what up? How you doing, wife?
I would hate you. Dude, he's so mad.
Dude, it's like, hey, dude, we're on the ice. You're picking on my goalie. You're picking on someone on our team. Like, dude, that ain't happening. And then we get off the edge, like, bro, we cool.
You know what I'm saying? We can hang out.
All right.
So before we wrap up, Eli, what's something that you would want to tell the audience to motivate them going forward in their personal lives?
Dude, dream bigger, bro. Dream big. And it's such a cliche thing, but I've known Brian now for, I don't know, 8 years, something like that, maybe 9. And the dude's always had giant dreams. And I remember when he this is only a handful of years ago. I remember when he said, we're going to be $100 million company at the Pavement Group. And everyone on the team was like, it was a small team at the time. Everyone on the team's like, that's crazy. That's a big number. And it's like, well, we're
not far.
We're not far. Like, we're not far. We have the people to do it now. And, you know, just simply dream big, dude. Like, there's so much opportunity out there. There's so much. And you get the right people around you who feel the same way, who are dreaming big too. Like, dream big and do the action to make it happen. Yeah.
You heard it here, man. My boy Eli told you straight up. Some people dream big, but he's telling you to dream bigger. You know what I mean? Some people will tell you that you can't hit your goals, but you can hit them anyway because you believe in yourself. So with that said, this has been Tre'd Talk. I've been with my man Eli, man. I'm so thankful to have you on, man. You did a great job. I appreciate for you being here. 1, 2, we got my man Jesse behind the 1s and 2s. You can't see him, but he's there. He's always taking care of us. So as always, this is Tre'd Talk, man. And if you don't know, now you know. And if you knew, please tell somebody else. Like, comment, subscribe, come join along. And if you want to come on, hit me up on anything, IG, Twitter. I'm on it all, TikTok. Eli, where can they find you?
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. I just signed up for Threads the other day.
And I heard him.
I think I'm going to start posting my thoughts on Threads too.
I think I'm going to get
my hub for any thoughts that I have throughout the day.
Okay.
Like,
get it out there.
Get it out there.
So, hey, if you're on Threads, get at my man Eli. Get at me, too, because I'm trying to get my Threads on a little bit as well, man. So, with that said, this has been Tre'd Talk. We love you, man. And check us out. Stay tuned because we got more.